If you've ever tried to have a real conversation with someone and they shut it down instantly, this is what's actually happening and what you can do about it. Because most people don't realize those phrases aren't accidental. What's actually happening? When someone shuts down a conversation, it usually sounds subtle. I'm sorry you feel that way. You're overthinking it. Let's not make this a big deal. And the reason it's so confusing is because it sounds reasonable on the surface. Why people do this? Most of the time, it's not about you. It's about avoiding discomfort, avoiding accountability, or even maintaining control. It's a way to end the conversation without actually resolving anything. Why it works on you. And if you've ever felt stuck or confused in that moment, this is key. You start second guessing. You feel like you're the problem. You try to explain more. And suddenly, you're defending yourself instead of addressing the actual issue. How to respond. So, what do you actually do in that moment? Option 1, stay grounded. I'm not trying to argue, I'm trying to understand this. This shows that you're trying to bridge a gap. You're trying to understand where they're coming from. And it could potentially go one of two ways. Either they're going to acknowledge your effort or they are going to go back to their deny, deny, deny. Let's not try to resolve anything just yet. Option 2, redirect clearly. That really doesn't address what I said. Can we come back to that? And again, it's direct, it's simple, non-confrontational. You're simply making a request. Option 3, name the pattern, which is an advanced strategy. It feels like the conversation is getting shut down instead of addressed. My questions aren't being dealt with, they're being avoided. And I want to understand what you're trying to avoid. I want to understand, like, am I offending you? Like, how can we reach a common ground together? Part 5, when to disengage. And sometimes the real answer is this. If someone consistently avoids real conversations, you're not dealing with a communication issue. You're dealing with a pattern of essentially stonewalling, a pattern of wanting to avoid the consequences, a pattern of actually being able to address your concerns, to know where you stand and what's going on and what they're hiding. Because clearly they don't want to have this conversation and they are trying to stonewall or not be as communicative as they want to be. They're trying to essentially hide the ball. Let's talk about the emotional aftermath. And if you walked away from conversations like this feeling drained, that's because you were trying to have a real, honest to goodness conversation with someone who wasn't willing to meet you even halfway or meet you at where you needed to be after you giving clear instructions in a respectful tone and trying to further delineate what you were actually looking for. So in closing, you're not too sensitive, you're not overreacting, you're recognizing something real. If this is something you've experienced, you're not the only one. And if you want to understand this dynamic more, stay with me. This is something I break down a lot. Thank you for tuning in to Recovering Perfectionist Mama, Grace in Progress. And I appreciate you all hanging out and learning about this topic. Maybe it'll help demystify it some, because sometimes you may wonder whether or not it's you who actually has the problem or if you're imagining it. And that can be really difficult, especially when you're second guessing. You feel like you're being as direct as you know how to be, yet they continue to stonewall. So I hope this gave you a little bit of insight, and I hope that you will come back and see us again soon. And again, I appreciate each and every one of you in our community. We have such a great empathetic, compassionate community who looks after each other. And I appreciate each and every one of you. The community would not be the same without you. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. If there's topics you're interested in, feel free to drop them in the community. Appreciate you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Bye-bye.